I like that. You must remember this. A kiss is still a kiss. A sign is just a sign. The fundamental things apply as time goes by. Don't worry. In order to have an engaging voice, you don't need to sing. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Cynthia. I have been doing training for the past 9 years, focusing on voice for the past 3 years. Now in this 1 hour, you are going to learn how to have a voice that engages people without having to sing. And how to have a voice that can last forever long, no matter how many hours you speak. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Now learning is more effective when we learn together. Do you agree? Yes. So today, you're not going to sit there and take note all by yourself. So I'd like to have you grab a partner. Do not make me define what is grab. So grab a partner and sit beside your partner. Okay. Have you all found your partner? Yes. Newly found. Now some of you look very reluctant. Okay, you sit beside me, let's be partner. Now I'd like to have you to be responsible to each other. And in order to do that, we need to sign a learning contract. And this one, a verbal one. So I'd like to have you stand up and face your partner. Some of you already raised the right hand. Now, we are going to sign this learning contract repeating after me. I. State your name. Some of you said, state your name. State your own name. So we do it one more time. I. State your own name. Take you. State your partner's name. As my voice buddy. I'm going to support you. Give you valuable feedback. No matter what voice you will discover. For better or for worse. I will always be here to support you. Till 1:30 do us part. You may take a seat. I pronounce you voice buddy A and voice buddy B. To have an engaging voice, there's one thing we can learn from singing. Although we don't necessarily need to sing. Now just now, in the opening, do you know the title of the song?
Kiss is not a kiss.
Now, if you do not know, no problem. It is called As Time Goes By. Now, if you sing that song in this way, so I'm going to sing in another way, you see which one is more engaging. This is the second version. You must remember this. A kiss is still a kiss. A sign is just a sign. No matter what the future brings as time goes by. This one versus the opening one. Which one you find more engaging? In the opening one. What's the difference? Tone? Very, very close. Pitch. Now the second one, do you find is very flat? Now this is exactly like our speaking voice. We find sometimes when we do training, it's very flat. Then put people into sleep. Now this is the one secret we can learn from singing. So today you are going to pick up one secret and with 3 tools to help you be more engaging. How many secrets? 1. Some of you already 3. How many techniques? 3. Now this one secret is that separates you from the other monotone voice. It is feel what you say. Tell your buddy, feel what you say. I can tell you all the techniques. Now to have a colorful voice, we only have time to introduce you 3. There are almost 18 techniques I can introduce to you. But if you never feel what you say, these techniques will all appear to be very mechanical. So that's the first thing, to feel what you say. And that separates a monotone voice from a colorful voice. Now the question is, how to feel what you say? And we have the 3 techniques. And these 3 techniques, for your easy remembering, we call it the APE. 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 Either it's for training or for presentation. What is the number 1 thing that you want to get and keep from your audience?
Attention.
Attention. Very good. Give her a round of applause. Now the attention. Attention is the most difficult thing to get and keep from your audience. You probably have learned you need to grab their attention in the opening. But grabbing their attention in the opening is not enough. The studies on human brain shows that the human capacity for remaining full attention, do you know how long that is? 20 minutes? 2 minutes. Oh. We can be a little bit more positive.
That's why the course is 1 hour.
Okay. Now, the human attention, the span is actually 10 minutes. That means every 10 minutes, you must work to get their attention back. And that's why we say you cannot always using the same tone. You need to vary your tone. So the first A, ape, represents attention. You want to grab and keep their attention. Now we're not going to talk about how to grab and retain their attention. For example, asking questions, tell a story. We're going to talk about the voice. Do you know how to keep their attention? What are the tools we can use? In the book called Made to Stick. Have you heard of that book? Heard of it? So it's a book on how to be more engaging, memorable, either as a presenter, as a teacher, or as a trainer. So if you haven't read that book, check it out. It's called Made to Stick. So in that book, one of the chapters mentioned, in order to keep their attention, you need to get one element. This element starts with letter C. Make a guess. It stands for curiosity. Tell your buddy, curiosity. In order to keep people's attention, you must make them curious. They're always wondering in their mind, oh, what is going to happen next? Oh, this is interesting. I'm going to see what is going to happen. So the curiosity. How to use your voice to make people curious. We are going to talk something. The topic is time sweepers. So I'm going to talk about time sweepers. Now what is going on in your mind? Okay, very good. So you might be wondering, what is time sweepers? Now, if you are telling your audience, you say, okay, dear participants, now we're going to talk about time sweepers. Do you think they will get very interested? Now, this is where we use our voice to get their attention, make them curious. And this element we use is I and P. I and P. In the voice, the I stands for inflection. Inflection. P, we're going to mention this a lot of times. Now, if I say in this way, next, we're going to talk about time sweepers. Is it better than this one? Next, we're going to talk about time sweepers. Did you hear the difference in the voice? What's the difference? Pitch? Pause. Okay. So the P stands for pause. Now the pitch here, really, we're mentioning actually is inflection. Inflection. Inflection means variations. How do we use it? Now the inflection, if we make it sound like a question. For example, if I say, my name is Cynthia, versus, my name is Cynthia. Did you hear the difference? So when we say, my name is Cynthia, you can say your name. So my name is Cynthia. It sounds like a question. Am I? Maybe I'm Michelle. So when you sound like a question, it is called upward inflection. Tell your buddy, upward inflection. And when you sound like a statement, my name is Cynthia, this is a statement, it is called downward inflection. Tell your buddy, downward. Now the upward inflection makes people very interested. So if you want to make them curious, you don't say, now we're going to talk about time sweepers. So you say, now we're going to talk about time sweepers. Whispering. Now, if you want to make people curious, before you say that, so your inflection go up. And then pause. And then you make people curious. Oh, what is going to happen next? So this is the question you always ask yourself. Where do I want them to be curious? To make them curious, what are the two tools you can use? Some of you already forgot. Ask your buddy, what are they? Inflection and pause. Now we're going to see one sentence. So you see, how can you use that? Inflection and pause. Finish reading? Now if I say the time sweepers are the people who sweep up all the time, that is lost and wasted. Is it engaging? No, right? How can you say it to make people curious? Give you 10 seconds. Try it with your buddy. Okay, time is up. Who would like to try? You can volunteer your buddy. Who would like to volunteer your buddy to give it a shot? Or you can volunteer other people's buddy. Okay. Okay, let's hear from Jeffrey.
The time sweepers are the people who sweep up all the time that is lost and wasted.
Okay, so I have already got a lot of positive feedback. Now here, where do you want to create the curiosity? Okay, try it.
I would say the time sweepers are the people who sweeps up all the time, is lost and wasted.
Okay, very good. Give her a round of applause. Because we may not be familiar with what time sweeper is. And when you gave this new term, then they get curious. Oh, what is it? And that's where you use the inflection and pause. The time sweepers are the people who sweep up all the time that is lost and wasted. Do you think that now you can create curiosity in your voice? Tell your buddy, you can. You see, some of you said, can you? Now that is the first technique in order to grab their attention, create curiosity. Now the ape, the second technique, starts with P. But here the P is not pause. It is, very good, pitch. What is pitch? High and low. Now in singing we have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, do. This is high and low. In our voice, we also have high and low. When we go high, usually we are excited. When we go low, usually you are, I'm depressed. You never hear anyone who is depressed say, I'm depressed. So the pitch, you already have that in your own voice. It's just how you put into application. In training, you might be familiar with one of the training gurus. His name is Tyagi. Have you heard of him? It's a very interesting, very fun old man. But he's very interesting. I attended twice of his course. And he said, people learn from reflection. If you don't have people reflect, the training will never be effective. So as a trainer, you also want your participants to reflect. Now in reflection, we also have the particular voice for that. We only have 1 hour, so we don't have time to tell you my long story. It's a story about gratitude. So in my public workshop, usually I will tell this story about gratitude. At the end of the story, I will ask them one question. And the question is, what is the one thing that you are grateful for? Now if I ask you, what is the one thing that you are grateful for? You see, I don't need to ask you, what was your reaction? Some of you already started to laugh. Now one of my participants, he said, Cynthia, even if I have one thing, I will not tell you. Now if I ask you in this way, what is the one thing that you are grateful for? Which one puts you in the reflection mode? Second one. And what's the difference? What is the one thing that you are grateful for? Let's go and be grateful. So this one is pitched a little bit higher. And the volume is a little bit louder. Well, this one is a bit lower pitched. And the volume become a little bit smaller. So if you want to have people to reflect, you want to lower your voice, pitch and volume. Now we go back to the time sweeper. Now that time sweeper sentence, what do you want your participants to reflect on? When you finish your reflection, share with your buddy. What do you want your participant to reflect on? Okay, have you finished? Now what do you want your audience to reflect on? Shout out your buddy's answer. What do you want your participant to reflect on? Now we have the very energetic group. So what do you want your audience to reflect on?
Lost.
Okay, lost and wasted. To value the time. You want them to know that time is valuable. And you pick up the correct word. So if you want them to reflect, how are you going to say this sentence in that way? Together with curiosity part. So now you try it with your buddy. 10 seconds. Okay, have you finished? Now, our brief Jeffrey. Now you can point someone. Okay, let's give Gay Ho, right? A round of applause to have a try.
The time sweepers are the people who sweep up all the time. That is lost and wasted.
We already have heard the oh, whoa. Now you can hear the difference, the variations in his voice. Now if you say, the time sweepers are the people who sweep up all the time, that is lost and wasted. It may not work better as his. Now one last try. Who would like to give it a try? This gentleman. Give him a round of applause.
The time sweepers are the people who sweep up all the time that is lost and wasted.
Okay, give him a round of applause. Now how can you tell that whether your voice is lowered or not? Very simple. Now you all have the smartphone. Just record and listen back. Now I have clients. After recording, he said, I don't want to listen, you listen. So the easiest way to make improvement is you must record yourself and then listen back. So the second technique is pitch, to put people into reflection. In training, even when you're on a day-to-day conversation, you also sometimes want to make sure that people get your point. You may be saying the same thing, but they didn't get your message. And then you think, why they didn't get my message? It probably because of the way you speak. Now that is the last technique. APE. What is E? Expression, emphasis, engage. Now, when we want to say something, if I say this is very important, did you feel it's important? So you might be saying to your colleagues, this is very important. We must do this. They didn't feel it. And they say, how can you didn't feel the importance? Now if I say, this is very important, do you feel the importance? What's the difference? Emphasis. Who said that? Give her a round of applause. Emphasis makes a big difference. If you emphasize on different words, you convey different meanings. If I say this is very important, does it convey the same meaning as that one? This one is emphasizing this, not that. This is very important versus this is very important. Emphasizing on different words, you convey different meanings. Sometimes when you talk to someone, you might be emphasizing on the wrong word. I have a client. He said, I want to tell them we must work harder so we won't miss the deadline. And then I asked him, which word do you want to emphasize? So he wants to say, if we don't work hard, we will miss the deadline. If you just say we will miss the deadline, to convey the meaning, if you don't work hard, how are you going to say that? Try it with your buddy. We are going to miss the deadline. Which word do you want to emphasize? Okay. Now, shout out the word. What is the word? Okay, we know it's miss. Now this is what my client said. He said, I'm going to say we're going to miss the deadline. I said, does it sound? So then he tried one more time. We're going to miss the deadline. So you must make sure that you emphasize the correct word. How do you emphasize? Do you emphasize we're going to miss the deadline? Or you say we're going to, not by shouting. So emphasis doesn't mean that you're going to shout on that word. Then people feel, oh. So emphasis just means you set that word apart. We're going to miss the deadline. Set that word apart by pausing. We have the pausing expert. He answered twice correctly. So just by pause before and after. Now we come back to the time sweepers. What kind of meaning do you want to emphasize to them? Discuss with your buddy. Which word do you want to emphasize? For what? For what purpose? Okay. Now this one, just now, actually some of you, when we demonstrating the other techniques, some of you already actually emphasized on certain words. There are at least 2 of you emphasized on the same word. You want people to value every minute. And that is all. The time sweepers are the people who sweep up all the time. That is lost and wasted. So here we emphasize the word all. Now, do you see that just this one sentence, you can convey a lot of meanings? It's no longer the time sweepers are the people who sweep up all the time, that is lost and wasted. Now you have rich expression on this sentence. Now some of you just now said, but before I speak, I never think which word I'm going to emphasize. What do I need to? So we go back to the secret. What is the secret? Tell your buddy, feel what you say. If you don't feel the urgency, can you convey the urgency? If you don't feel time is valuable, can you convey that meaning? So before you say anything, you must be very sure what kind of meaning do I want to get across. And that is the key thing you need to think about. Instead of, okay, here, I need to go high pitch. Here, I need to lower my pitch. And then it will be very mechanical. So the secret is also the soul of what you say. To always think about what message you want to get across. Now, in the coloring your voice, make it more engaging. As I mentioned, we have 18 techniques, but it's all around this soul. Now, today we only cover 3. And that is to help you be more engaging. Do you think you can apply something? Now I would like to have you to stand up, face your body. Time to get some rest. Now I would like to have you observe your body. Haven't finished the instruction yet. I haven't finished the instruction, somebody already observed. Now, you're going to take a deep breath and observe your body. Where is the movement in his or her body? So now you do the observation. Deep breathing. Have you finished? Okay, if you have finished, give your body a high five. Yeah, finished. Take a seat. Where did you see the movement? Chest expansion. What else? Shoulder move up. Anywhere else? Eyes.
Your nose gets bigger. I just choose to look at the eyes.
Okay. Now, is this what your body was doing? I may be exaggerating a little bit. So take a deep breath in. Something similar? Okay. Now, if your body is doing that, it's time to give valuable feedback. Face your body and repeat after me. Body. Body. You're wrong. Now, if your body is not doing it correctly, of course you are going to lose your voice. Of course, after some time, you are going to feel hoarseness. Now I'm going to demonstrate to you the proper way of breathing. But before I demonstrate, think about this question. Where is your voice from? Diaphragm? Any other answers? From God. Okay. Where is your voice from? Out of yourself. Now there's a program called The Voice of God. Now, inside of your own body, where is it from? Diaphragm? Voice box? Mouth? Now I have one client, he said, from my mouth? I said, of course your mouth, not my mouth. Now we have a pair of vocal cords. Do you know where it is? It's something here. So for gentlemen, it's very easy, the Adam's apple. For ladies, you try to swallow your own saliva and you feel something go up and down. That's where your vocal cords are. Okay. Body help.
You are wrong.
This is a very frank body. Now, how does our voice work? When we take a breath in, the vocal cords, they open. So your breath will go to your lungs. And then they close. But your breath want to come out. You cannot always hold your breath, right? So you want to breathe out. When you breathe out, they start to vibrate. It is the vibration on your vocal cords that created your voice. Now, we have one piece of paper. Did you hear any sound? If there's wind coming by, what will happen? What did you hear? Sound. So it's just like our vocal cords. The air goes in and out. Out, pump the vibration. So now you know where your voice from? Vocal cords is not enough. The vibration on your vocal cords. Tell your body, vibration on your vocal cords. Now, do you think that if the wind is stronger, the vibration will be stronger? And the sound becomes. So if you want to have a bigger voice, a stronger voice, you want to have more air, which is breathing. If you do breathing this way, this is not really breathing a lot of more air. So now you're going to see the real proper breathing. So I'm going to demonstrate. You see where the movement is. Did you see the movement? Over already? I have participants say, did you breathe? So the deep breath can be actually real fast. So I do it one more time. Take a breath in and breathe out. Did you see the movement? Because all your attention is here. It should be here. So now I'm going to do it one more time. Take a breath in and then breathe out. Now you see, this is a very good way to hide your nervousness. When you are nervous, the best way to manage the nervousness is by proper breathing. When you do it right, no one will notice because they all look at your face. No one look at your stomach. Unless your stomach is very big. Unless the movement you do is very big. So unless you do, oh, Cynthia told me when I'm nervous, I do deep breathing. Then everybody knows. You're nervous. So the proper breathing, we use one muscle called diaphragm. And when we breathe in, the diaphragm, they go down and go out. So see, when we breathe in, the stomach comes out. And when we breathe in, they go back. So you see the stomach goes in. Is it the opposite to what you are doing? When you breathe in, your stomach goes in, right? And when you breathe out, come back. So the proper breathing, when you use the diaphragm, when you breathe in, the stomach should come out. And when you breathe out, go in. To do the proper breathing, we use the muscle. Now let's find that muscle. Now diaphragm is a piece of muscle that separates your chest from the stomach. It is somewhere located here. You find your rib cage first. If you have difficulty, ask your body. So it's under your rib cage. This is where your diaphragm is. Now if you couldn't feel it, first thing, go on the diet. Second thing, cough a little bit. If you feel something is moving, that's your diaphragm. So if you feel it, that means you do have one. Now when we breathe using the diaphragm, we can bring more air into our lungs. So we have more air to pump the voice. And your voice can become stronger and powerful. But that also not enough. Even you have the air and you have the vibration. Sometimes the voice is too small. People cannot hear you. Now the vibration on your vocal cords is actually very small. Usually, if you solely rely on the vibration, it's actually very, very small. You cannot hear. The reason why people can hear you is the third element. Is our own inbuilt amplifier. Amplifier. What is amplifier? Amplify your voice. So when there is small vibration, and then because of the amplifier, your voice gets amplified. You still use the same effort, but voice can travel far. Does that sound very interesting? You still use the same effort. You don't need to shout. Your voice can still travel. And that is from the amplifier. Amplifier in our own bodies, they are actually the cavities. Do we have any cavities in our body? Is it? Some of you said. Now, first, the mouth is a cavity, right? Or in our voice projection, we have 5 major cavities. The nose, the mouth, the throat, voice box. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Already 4. These 4, most people are using. And there's one largest cavity they're not using. And that largest cavity will help you to make the fundamental difference. Not only your voice can travel far without shouting, but also your voice quality will become better. In the past 45 minutes, you have been listening to my voice, which is using these 5 cavities. Now I'm going to demonstrate to you using only 4 cavities, and you hear the difference between these voices. This is using only the 4 cavities. Can you hear the difference? No echo? And a bit flat. The pitch goes a little bit higher. It's very thin, very one-dimensional. So that voice is not using the 5th amplifier. It is the largest. What is it? I often have participants say, stomach. Yes, stomach is very big. But it's not in your voice projection. So the biggest cavity we're using is, did you see the movie Tarzan? Oh. So he is chest. And that's why his voice can travel in the forest. So the biggest amplifier in your body is chest. If you can use your chest, not only your voice quality will improve, you will speak forever long. Because now you have the amplifier to amplify your voice. You don't need to use a lot of here. So the biggest amplifier. If you want to last your voice, you want to use your, tell your body, chest. Okay, that's a good question. Now, in order to have your voice speak forever long as others can take it, we have 3 steps. We have already mentioned them. Now the first one, the source, your voice. It is from the vibration on your vocal cords. So take care of your vocal cords. Don't drink too much coffee, too much milk. Too much milk will create phlegm. Then you too much coffee will take too much moisture out of your body. So you feel your voice is very, very tight. Smoking is also not good. Now the second one is the power. Where is the power? The breath. The breath. Tell your body, breath is the power. If you want to sustain your voice, you need to first learn how to breathe. How to breathe properly. We all know how to breathe, but not properly. So you need to learn how to breathe properly using the diaphragm. If you are not breathing properly, you will never achieve the third step. And the third step is using your amplifier, the biggest amplifier, and to create we call resonance. Tell your body, resonance. So first is breathe properly. One simple exercise you can do. When you go back home, lie on your bed. Make sure the bed is not too soft. So lie on your bed and put one small object on your stomach. And you breathe to see the book go up and down. Naturally, not by pushing it up and down. So that is the easiest way for beginners to practice the proper breathing. Because when we lie down, we are very relaxed. So that's one exercise you can practice for your breathing. Once you breathe properly, then we come to the resonance. The resonance. Now we practice one sound. For the chest amplifier, we practice the sound O. O is very easy for you to find the chest resonance. Before you find it, what is chest resonance? Or what is resonance itself? Echo? Now, have you been to any temples? See the giant bell? When they strike the bell, what happened? Yes. Now the is vibration, the extra vibration, because you didn't keep on striking down, 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 down. So you just strike once, and then it creates more sound by itself. You just need to breathe once. The voice can travel by itself. That's what we said. No need to use extra effort. So the extra vibration is the resonance. So we're going to do that. The proper way we're going to do is take a breath in, and when we breathe out, we say the sound O. So I'm going to demonstrate. In order to do that, because we're beginners for breathing, I would suggest you use an open mouth. So this is how we do. Demonstrate. Take a breath in. Oh. You could feel something is here. So let's do it together. Take a breath in. Very good. So take note of your posture. So take a breath in. And then when you breathe out, say, oh. Did you feel anything in this area? Some more vibration. It sounds very funny, but this is the easiest way to work. Now, the first thing, you need to find the resonance here. And then you can use that resonance to help you speak. To help you sustain the voice. What is the first step you can start with? 3 steps. What are the 3 steps? Take care of your vocal cords. Second one? Third one? Resonance. You could start with drink less coffee. Or you can start with quit. Very good. Quit smoking. That we have the I quit, right? So it's proper breath. Now Albert Einstein said, If you keep on doing the same thing but expect different results, you're insane. You're crazy. Do you want to change on your voice? Improve your voice? But you go back to do the same thing and expect, oh, one day my voice will be changed. Tell your body, you're crazy. Now, Albert Einstein actually said, insanity is you keep on doing the same thing but expect different results. So if you want to have some change on your voice, you need to do something differently. So tell your body, what is the one thing that you want to change first? Tell your body. Okay. Do you want to have a powerful voice in just, yes, already answered, in just 8 days? Possible? A smoother skin. Now, if you want to have a better voice in just 8 days, scan this barcode to find out what is it. Now, it's actually eight lessons, 8 voice audio lessons I have for you for free. So you can scan that barcode. There are 8 voice audio lessons. One day, each day you're going to receive 1 lesson. Now I conduct voice training and voice coaching. If you want to attend any of the future events, you can go to my website. It is connectingtosuccess.com. For you, as you are here today, spending this 1 hour with me, so you are going to have one special offer. Now you are going to have $50 off the early bird. Use this secret code. So if you register on my website, you use the code RWS. So put the RWS in the note. So result word Sentosa. And then my assistant will get you $50 off. Now, what is the one thing you are going to apply? Breathing? Some of you said, breathing. Very good, already started to apply. So if you keep on doing the same thing and expect different results, you will not get that. And the key is do one thing at a time and change one thing at a time. Thank you.